Hi guys, Haley Jensen here from Cache Valley Crates, and I just want to thank you for being here. I know who's watching this, and I know your time is very valuable and you don't have a lot of it. So I appreciate it, and I hope to use this time really wisely and pack as much value in as I can. So I'm going to go as quickly as I can, but this is what this training is about. I just want to take a few minutes and cover how Cache Valley businesses are taking control of the single biggest factor affecting turnover rate. All while blessing the lives of a lot of people that both you and I care about. So in this video, I want to cover three things. Number one, I'm going to show you the number one factor affecting turnover rate and job satisfaction, how most businesses are actually doing it wrong and how you can do it right, and then how we can help. So just by way of brief introduction, my name is Haley Jensen. This is my husband, Bob, and I, and our 5 kids. We live out in Clarkston, and we've been in the Valley for 23 years, and in the past 23 years between us, we've built 3 successful businesses. And the reason that I give you that introduction is because I just want you to understand where I'm coming from. Like, we understand staffing stress. We've been in the trenches for many years doing this, and especially the past 2 years, staffing stress has been stressful, like almost to a breaking point. It's been really rough. And talking to other business owners, we're all kind of in the same boat, right? We're all dealing with the same thing, and it's been tough. And this is the other reason, is we all know that the recession here, it's not getting any better before it gets worse, and we know that. And there's also another issue that doesn't have anything to do with the recession or the pandemic that you may have heard of, and that is baby boomers are retiring at a faster rate than young people are entering the workforce. And so obviously that means that the workforce is shrinking. So what this all boils down to is there is a real challenge facing business leaders in Cache Valley, well, nationwide, but this is a real issue that we have to deal with. And that is why I recently sold both my businesses and have been focused, just laser focused on this one problem. How can we cut turnover rate? How can we reduce staffing stress? And that's why I created Cache Valley Crates. And Cache Valley Crates is focused on just doing one thing for Cache Valley businesses. We want to make your team happier. To begin with, and I'm going to get into how we make your team happier in just a second, but I just want you to hold this number in your mind. I'm going to let you read this slide on your own, but I've talked to many business owners the past several months, and some of them know exactly what their turnover cost is, but many of them don't actually have a hard figure in their head. So if you don't already know what your turnover cost is, I just want you to take a minute to actually quantify what that is. So how many people on average do you lose that have to be replaced per year? And what is half of their yearly salary? I just want you to get a pen and a paper for a second and write that down. You can even pause the video and just kind of calculate that out. How many people do you lose each year? And how much is this really costing you? It's important we really put our finger on what the cost is so that we can take the right measures and know what we need to invest to correct it. And that's just the monetary side. That's not even considering the stress on you and others who have to pick up the slack when people do leave. And the pain is real. I know that because I've been there, and so have you. And also, I know what it feels like to be the business owner. I know that everybody else clocks in and clocks out and gets a guaranteed paycheck except you. Like, you are the one who is taking care of the customers. You're taking care of all the logistical stuff. You're taking care of all the regulatory stuff. You're taking all the financial burden, taking all the risk and the responsibility. And it's a lot to deal with. And every time, when we set up businesses, when we build a business, there's always much more than what we signed up for. We kind of sign up for whatever our profession is, and we're excited to serve people in that capacity. And that's the best part of it. But there's so much more involved. And this is especially true when it comes to taking care of relationships in the workplace. I know how you feel. I know that it's like, one more thing that you just don't have time for. And this is the number one feedback I got when I was creating this and asking business owners and business leaders how we could serve them best, what could really make this valuable to you. And what they said was, it's got to be easy. It's got to be hands-free, just very simple to take care of so that I can focus on my clients and my job and everything else that I have to deal with. So that's what we've done. Okay, let's dive right into the meat of it. So the number one biggest factor affecting job satisfaction, it's a feeling of being appreciated. Did you know that? I thought that was really interesting when I was researching this. The first thing a lot of us go to is the monetary side of it, the money, the wages and stuff. And obviously those are important. We've got to pay a competitive wage, and this isn't just my opinion. This is study after study has boiled it down. Long term, what makes people stay and the real reason people leave, it's a feeling of appreciation. And interestingly enough, even though that's the number one factor, most of us are kind of approaching it wrong. It's kind of something we take for granted and we don't really tackle it like we do some of the other bigger issues that we have in our business. Did you know that there's a very specific psychology behind expressing appreciation that will actually make them feel appreciated? And most businesses are actually doing this wrong. So in order to feel appreciated, it needs to be unexpected and it needs to be very specific or personal. And I bet you can find an example in your own life of when somebody expressed appreciation to you that was burned into your memory, that you've never forgotten. It really had an impact, and it probably had both of these factors. And this is how most businesses are doing it wrong. I'm willing to bet what the first thing that a lot of you thought of when you thought of Cache Valley Crates and how you could implement this with your business is we can use these for our corporate Christmas gifts. And by all means, I hope you do. It's going to be a great Christmas gift. However, that is the most obligatory time to express your appreciation. Everybody expects a Christmas gift, and so it's kind of it's nice and it's appreciated, but it obviously feels like you're checking the relational box. You're just taking care of something that's very expected, and so it doesn't really make somebody feel appreciated. So here's just a little side tip. It's also not what people want. Gifts are nice, but what they really, really want at Christmas time is a Christmas bonus, even if it's just a small bonus, 50 or $100. And also, here's another little tip. They want it in November when they actually have time to use it to order things for their families. If Christmas bonuses are coming in December, it's too late for them to actually use it. But anyway, if you can afford to do a Christmas bonus and a Christmas gift, then by all means do that. But what I'm trying to say is, if you really want to express appreciation and to give a gift in a way that's going to have an impact and make people feel appreciated, you've got to do it at an unexpected time. And we've got to do away with we don't have to do away with it. It's a very helpful thing, but we say thanks for all you do. But if that's the only thing you ever say, then people are going to feel very invisible because they've never been acknowledged for their specific contribution. So here's how to do it right. Recognize them at non-obligatory times. And I'm going to show you how to do this in just a second. And then also acknowledge their unique contribution just once. You only have to do this once, and it lasts a lifetime. Seriously, they will never forget it. Plus, you also don't want to be always scratching for new things to say to the point that it becomes contrived and inauthentic. But everybody has something. Everybody has something that they contribute that nobody else contributes, that if they were gone, that thing that they brought would be irreplaceable. So here's an example, something like this. James, thank you for being with us from the very beginning. We know that you're the only one that's been with us from the very beginning, and you didn't have to. And we recognize your loyalty and we appreciate that. James knows that he is the only one that's been with you from the very beginning, and that he has probably made some sacrifices and turned up some opportunities to stay with you. But has anybody ever actually acknowledged that specific thing about him? That would mean the world to him. So here's the thing. You don't have to know everybody's superpower because you're under the rock. You're in charge. You're taking care of a lot of stuff, right? But there is somebody who does. If you don't know what everybody contributes, you know there's somebody in the office or in the workplace who is a relational person who can probably give you something, whatever it is. Maybe it's a sense of humor that just brightens the mood always. Maybe it's somebody who's very punctual. Maybe, whatever it is, everybody contributes something. And it just means the world to them if somebody would just acknowledge that one thing. And here's how we can help you. We will help you set up a gifting plan designed to create an experience so that your team genuinely feels seen and understood and appreciated. And that will make all the difference. So we have, we have systematized this and come up with a very organized approach so that everybody gets acknowledged at least once. We're going to make sure that everybody gets acknowledged for their unique contribution just once. And that there's a very fair, evenly distributed plan for your team members to be acknowledged at a time that they're not expecting it. So there's National Recognition Days and Weeks. Did you know there's a National Recognition Day or a week for everything? Like every position. The first week of September is National Vascular Nurses Recognition Week. And that's just an example. There's hundreds of them. Your people do not expect you to keep track of all that and acknowledge that. And yes, you can bring donuts that day and say thank you for all you do. But again, that feels like it's checking the relational box. You might not know when all those days or weeks are, but your people do, thanks to social media. Your social media knows who they are and where they work. And because of that, they are going to know when it is National, whatever they are, day or week. So what if instead of bringing a box of donuts that day or that week and saying thanks for all you do, what if there was a carefully planned and custom gift delivered to each of your team members, recognizing them for what they do? It's just a little difference, but do you see how big of an impact that can have, how different that is? You can also acknowledge birthdays if you're not already, and you can acknowledge work anniversaries. And I know you may think, okay, so if I start giving everybody a birthday gift, then they're going to start expecting it every year, and then it's going to become obligatory. But we have a rotation and a plan, and you can, if you want to, you can acknowledge their birthday every year from now until forever if you want to. But there's all kinds of excuses to acknowledge your people. There's get well gifts. There's just because. We actually work with local florists to deliver sympathy flowers. New baby, thank you, congratulations. There's all kinds of things that we plan out and systematize so that we're catching them off guard year after year and thanking them for what they contribute. Cache Valley Crate gift boxes, they're branded for you. So when you sign up for a gift package, we actually print sheets of labels with your business brand logo on it that goes on the outside of the box and on the card inside so they can see exactly who it's from. They include specific messages of appreciation from you, or a point of contact at your business, just from the business. And we don't make these up. We reach out to you and say, what does so-and-so contribute? What can we say? What message can we include for them? And they're designed to create an experience beyond just what I've already said. I've already talked about how it creates an experience by being unexpected and personal or specific. But also, these boxes are awesome. Like, they're story-based. The vendors each have an opportunity in the box to promote themselves and to share their backstory and how they got to do what they do and why they're passionate about what they do. There's also just a little bit of history, like Cache Valley history and lore in there, which I absolutely love, just the stories of Cache Valley. And just the design and the layout and the presentation, it's all designed to create an experience. And it's 100% Cache Valley sourced. That means that both of us care about the people who made these items. And just a little side note, and you may be very well aware of this if you've ever attempted to produce something from your home and sell it and compete with convenience and mass market, or if you know somebody who does that. But a lot of us kind of don't. If you don't know this already, the people who are making these things and selling them from their homes, it's very difficult, and most of them aren't selling enough for it to be profitable for them, which is sad because they have really good stuff. Like, they're very passionate about what they do and they have great stuff. Um, so, and we are putting in big orders. Like, these are not small orders, they're big orders. And I get these texts and I get messages from the vendor saying, thank you so much for allowing me to be a part of this. And it's made a huge difference. Guys, this is having an impact. It's really fun to be a part of. It's neat. And just to give you an idea of the scope of every month, we do send out the seasonal box every month, but also we're sending out baby boxes. We're sending out Get Well boxes that specifically have Get Well items in them. We even have dude gifts. Like, if you have dudes working for you, you know what I'm talking about. Like, there's the male and female version of the gift box, but dudes don't want a box of goodies. They want the game tickets and they want the auto detail and these kind of things. We have something for everyone. And so it's really spreading this support across, well over 100 vendors now, and it keeps growing every day. So it'll be over a couple of hundred soon, and it just keeps growing. Okay, so just in conclusion, we've covered the number one factor affecting job satisfaction. That's a feeling of appreciation. How most businesses are doing it wrong and how you can do it right, and how Cache Valley Crates can help. You can put it all on autopilot. It's hands off. We'll just systematize it for you, organize it for you, and we just touch in with you to verify everything and to get the personal messages of appreciation and make sure it's exactly how you want it. And this all helps out our local Cache Valley businesses in a big way. So I just want to ask you a question. Initially, we started out talking about reducing our turnover rate, and that's what I was really trying to get at, was reducing businesses' turnover rate. What if your team was already happy and loyal? What if this didn't return or cut down your turnover rate at all? What if all it was just a very unique way to tell your team thank you and express your appreciation, which you would already be spending money on doing, because if you weren't, then you wouldn't have a team that was very happy and loyal. Would it be worth it if that's all it did for you? And let me ask you this. What, all the other benefits aside, what if all it did for you was you knew that you were supporting your local friends and neighbors, many of whom are just supplementing their family income? They don't have time to crack the formula. They don't have time to put themselves out in massive advertising campaigns and social media campaigns. They just really like to produce something and bless other people's lives. If all you were doing was supporting these vendors, would that be worth it? And I just want to ask you one other question. Who else is likely to benefit from this? And I think we all kind of know this intuitively, but we don't acknowledge it as often as we should, probably. But anytime we make a conscious investment into relationships, any kind of relationships, it's kind of like the Bible describes it as like leaven or salt. It's just a very small yeast is what I was trying to say. Yeast, the Bible says leaven, but yeast or salt, it's just something very small that has a huge impact, and it sends out a ripple that goes a long way. If your team members, if we were successful at this and your team members actually felt appreciated and seen and understood in their workplace, which is where they probably spend a significant amount of their time, do you think that's going to have an impact on their lives, a ripple effect, and on their families? What about your customers? Do you think that your customers are going to notice? Of course they are. The whole community is going to notice. I bet you can identify in your mind a couple of businesses off the top of your head in Cache Valley who you know take good care of people, not just their staff, but customers and everybody. They invest in the relationships and they take care of people. Everybody sees it. It really does have a ripple effect. Okay, so the Cache Valley Crates gift package. here's what you get. So you get 12 gift credits that you can use however you want. Like I said, there's the gift boxes that we'll send out, or we can do the custom industry specific custom gifts. We've got the Get Well gifts, the baby gifts, the dude gifts, and we've also got the flowers, the sympathy flowers. A one-time setup gifting plan. It's hands-free. We'll get that all scheduled out for you, and then we'll touch bases with you before we ship anything to verify everything's still correct and that's exactly what you want. And then also, it's just super easy. You just save our contact. Just save a phone number on your phone, and then anytime you want to send an unscheduled gift, like the sympathy flowers or a Get Well gift or something, you just drop us a text or a call and say, here's who, here's where, here's what they need, and we'll take care of it for you. Like the sympathy flowers, just give us a name and we'll contact the mortuary and we'll get it figured out and know where to deliver it and how to take care of it. Custom branded for you and personalized notes of appreciation, and you're also supporting local entrepreneurs. So I just want to go back to that number. What is your current turnover rate costing you? What if we could cut that down? So the package is only $897, and that will take care of a crew of about 3 to 6 staff members. And that's just employees. This can be used for whatever you want it to use for. What about your prime clients? Who pays you $10,000 a year or more for your services, and how loyal are they? Can you imagine if they got a package in the mail, just something simple from your business that just simply said, thank you. Thank you for your business. We appreciate it, and we just wanted to acknowledge it. That's it. What about your personal relationships? We all have those 4 to 6 people in our lives who a couple times a year we're wondering, what are we going to do for your mom for Mother's Day? What are we going to do for Dad's birthday or whatever? You can still make the phone call. You can still take them out to dinner or whatever. But what if something showed up ahead of time that was well thought out, unique, and something local? That would be really awesome. So there's a lot of potential to use this in a lot of different ways. So here's how to do it. Go to www.cachevalleycrates.com and claim your spot. And this is an important point is, we're working with local vendors who are often hand making these things in their homes, and they can only make so much at a time. So we're not going to grow faster than we're capable of fulfilling on. So we're only accepting 10 new service packages per month. And that's not even 10 new businesses. Some of the businesses that we have signing up are subscribing to multiple packages. But anyway, we're only taking 10 of them per month. So make sure you jump on before we have to close that, because we've had to turn people away. So click on I'm in, sign me up, and then pick how many packages that you need. We recommend 3. One package is good for about 3 to 6 employees. You want to be able to have at least 2 gift credits available per year per person. And then we'll contact you within 40 hours to schedule a welcome call, either with you or with a point of contact. I know you're under that rock. You're carrying a lot of weight of responsibility. If there's an office manager or somebody who can just take care of this, then we'll schedule a call with them to get it set up and taken care of. And then, like I said, save our contact, give us a call, text, or email anytime you need to make a change, and we'll get you taken care of. And there's absolutely no risk. If, like I said, jump on while you can before it gets closed for the month and reserve your spot. And if tomorrow, you decide it's not the time, or what a bad idea or whatever, just let me know. We'll be happy to cancel it, to refund your money. You're not out anything by just jumping on and giving it a try. And I just want to make you a final promise. I promise you, and I know this, that if you just think this is neat and you'd like to look into it some more and you'd like to support it, and you'll think about it, or you'll talk to so-and-so and figure it out, if that's where you're at and that's where you walk away from here, I promise you there's like a 90-something% chance, you and I both know, that you're going to go back under that rock of responsibility, taking care of everything that you have to take care of and thinking about all the things, and it's not going to happen. And what's going to happen is you're going to miss out. The sympathy flowers that would have really meant a lot to somebody at an important time aren't going to get sent. Or the unique gift with the note of appreciation that would have meant the world to somebody who's important to you and maybe kept them around longer isn't going to get sent. And your people are going to miss out on being a part of this exciting thing that's happening in Cache Valley, and the vendors are going to miss out on the opportunity to serve you. So now is the time. Like I said, there's no risk. Just jump in, reserve your spot. If you decide it's not what you want to do, then we'll get you taken care of. Not a big deal. And I just want to give you a final bonus that I didn't tell you about. And this is just from me to you for taking the time to stay with me to the end, because it's kind of cool. And I just want you to get a pen and paper, and I want you to write this down. spotthestation.nasa.gov. And after you reserved your subscription on Cache Valley Crates, go to this website, and there's going to be a map. And I want you to click on Logan, zoom in on Logan, I think it's number 2 or something, and click on that, and it'll give you some times, a schedule of times, where once or twice every single night, on a clear night, you can see the International Space Station going overhead. It's the second brightest thing in the night sky, second only to the moon. It takes about 4 to 5 minutes for it to go completely across the night sky. This thing is moving at a speed of 17,500 miles an hour. It orbits the planet every 90 minutes, and it has 6 to 7, usually just 6 people on board. And you can look them up. You can see their bios and where they're from and everything. It's really cool. But I just want you to take a moment, take somebody, a young person that you love and care about. You guys bundle up and go outside on a clear night, pick a time. And for the 4 or 5 minutes that thing's going across the sky, that bright spot, I want you to tell them that what they're seeing is 6 people from all around the world who have worked their butts off to get where they're at. And on board the International Space Station, there's a 360-degree bay view window. And somebody right now is sitting in that window and seeing things and experiencing things that you and I can't even imagine. And they've achieved something that very few people on the planet have ever achieved. And we can see it, and it's awesome right here from our backyard. So anyway, thank you for being here. Thank you for serving the community with your business or practice, for making it Cache Valley what it is, why we want to be here, why we want to raise our families here. And I look forward to working with you. So together we can make a huge difference for some very awesome people. And I'm excited about it. And so are they. Thanks, guys.